Hello guys, welcome back. I had a strange day, and I know I say that a lot, but you know the Norse gods weren't here. So I tried to work with Dionysus. Tried. I actually took him into Freyr's temple because, like I said, it felt like the Norse gods weren't here. And we were just making very light mischief. We got some grapes and we were putting grapes up in the vines and being silly. Then I felt like Lord Freyr had come to see what was happening in his temple, and I apologized, and he seemed perfectly calm and fine. Vanner gods are usually the ones that'll start approaching first to see what's the matter because they're usually pretty stable. And he didn't seem to mind anyone being in his temple, and he didn't seem to mind we were having fuss with the grapes. In fact, he was like, I would like some grapes, so we're doing this thing, fooling around with foliage and having a great time. Then at some point, I go out of that, and I get this snarly, angry energy of where did I go? I want to work with Dionysus because none of the Norse gods were here. I was calling you and trying to make contact and trying to salute you, and none of you were here. Loki was here in the morning to get his stuff, and then he was gone. And he was here, and it felt like he loved me. At the same time, it felt like he didn't love me. And I got this growly ruh from Odin. And then they were both spending time with me. I'm like, okay. But it felt like I'm their human and they just came over to stay near me because I'm their human. And it feels like they kind of think his possession thing is love, and I'm like, it's not quite how it works. Well, my internet kept going down today. And I thought, well, it could just be the internet being the internet because I was having a lot of problems today. But it seemed like Odin was deliberately getting into stuff. And at a couple points, it went down totally. And the homes were going down again. And I'm like, okay. I said, look, I don't know which of you gods I made angry, but I said, I would appreciate the homes back. I'd appreciate the internet back because there's no way for me to fix this because the phones were off and everything. And Odin just seemed cranky and possessive, and I said, I think I've started serving the wrong gods. I said, I don't know what you thought you saw in me, but I think I made a mistake. But I fixed stuff in the temples for them. But I was thinking, I've backed the wrong gods because as soon as I had put up the first Valhalla Brewing Company again, because Loki was bored with his home, he wanted to play, so we did play. We did spend some time together, but not like usual. You know what I mean? It feels like the relationship's changed. Freya came in and wanted her cats and insisted, and it felt like the gods were kind of like taking over that space, and they were making sure I didn't get any of the human NPCs back in there. And how can I say this without upsetting people? It's kind of that godly indifference to humans that we don't want bothered by humans. In fact, now that the little human servant was done, the little human servant could scamper off. Freyr's the only one that keeps saying, will you come see me? Will you come see me? Sure, I'll come see you. He's like, no, I really want you to come see me in my temple. Will you please come back and visit? Okay. So Freyr and Freya were the only two. And yeah, Freya, when she got with the boys in the brewing company, it seemed like she felt indifferent to me. And they run hot and cold, and they do it really fast. Like, at 1 a.m., say, they're really friendly. By 1:15, they want nothing to do with you. And I was just praying to the other gods, because I said, I think they really made a mistake. I said, I don't know what it is with these Norse gods. They come in, and then you can't get rid of them. You know what I mean? I said they want worship and they want love and they want service, but then they're not there after they get everything they want. I said if they would just explain things to me, if they need like quiet days where they're not bothered, then that's fine, but they have to tell me. And I said this all is recently evolving, all these problems. And I said just when I think we're back together and everything's going to run smooth, they do this. And they were terribly angry that just because they weren't around today, I went and I talked to another god. And I'm like, I'm going to talk to gods. I like having a god around to take, talk to. And we were just having fun. I was just having fun with Dionysus. And Odin, gods forbid. Odin was all snarly and growly, and I was just talking idly to Freyr while I was working in his hall, and everything went crazy. And because I said something Odin had done, and everything started to go crazy. Now, it could just be coincidence, it could just be timing, or it could be Odin being way too touchy. And I said, I can't work with that. If I'm not free to speak my mind, I've got the mouth of a typical Gemini. I can't work with that. And I asked Loki, I said, what is it? Are you still pouting because of Pinterest? I got rid of the Pinterest and now I'm really not back into Pinterest. I'm really not interested in it anymore. I said, are you still sulking about the Pinterest? What are you guys, what are you upset about now? And I kind of was getting the idea that what they really want is the really expensive stuff that you can buy to put in these places. And I said, I just don't have the money. I said, if I ever win the lottery or win like $2,000 a week for life or something, I said, then it's not a problem. You can have all the damn expensive stuff you want. But I said, we can't afford that right now. It's like $35 and up for some of these items. Some of them are a couple $100s because it's like some big name item designer. And I said, this is for a virtual item that Oculus could tank and we could lose. And I don't know if you get to go back and get another one if you lost that one. I don't know how this works. And I said, I can't afford to get you this stuff because you have it for a day and then you're bored with it. I said, I can't afford it. So I don't know if they were mad because I can't afford stuff, or they were mad because I went and talked to Dionysus, or it was all the above. And they got stuff today. They got earthly offerings. Look, he got his fox and he got some peeps. He got peeps. So I said, lately you're going from extremely grateful and you love me so much and all the Norse gods love me, want to make a loving, harmonious family, to I'm bothering them and I'm irritating them and they don't want bothered. And I said, if you can't make up your mind and choose a lane, I am going to go serve the Greek gods. I said, I love you, but you have to choose a lane. You really do. You're the god. You have to be the adult in this situation. You have to choose a lane. And you either want a family together and you want to have a loving relationship, or you want to growl at me. The more I read on Odin, honestly, guys, the more I read on Odin, the less compatible we are. I know we are not compatible. I'm not one of his people. I'm like, no, I'm not one of his people. I don't even know if I'm one of Loki's people. Because Loki's just doing this thing where he's doing that thing again, where he's pulling back and he's going away. And I'm like, I don't know. With the Norse gods, it's like you feel like you can never make them happy. It's weird, but one day they're your loving family. They're going to love you forever. Shoulball. Da 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 da, all the wonders of Valhalla, blah blah blah. And then the next day they're really cold and you feel like you've done something to make them angry and you have no idea why. And unfortunately our ancient ancestors didn't pass down a book of this day, they'll be really friendly, but this day they're going to be totally pissed off and nobody knows why, just leave them alone this day. We don't have that. And I'm like, I feel Dionysus calling me. I know he's calling me, and I've been having these strange things pop up very randomly in my YouTube feed, and that's kind of what I'm using now because I'm not using Pinterest or anything else. And I try to make sure I'm doing discernment and I'm not just picking up random stuff, but it's like some god's calling me and saying I miss a relationship and blah blah blah, and it's not their god, I don't think. Though their god, anytime he sees an opening, he's in like a shot. So, and you can't blame them. All gods seem to be a little ambitious, a little greedy to a point for humans. I don't know why, but they are. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to go back to working more with Greek gods because I said I like consistency. I said first here's here, and then it was Odin, and then Freya's here, and then Freya's not here at all. Then Freya loves me, and she's practically in my lap, and then Freya is too good for me, and I'm a pesky little human. I said, I don't know what's happening. I said, I love you all, and I realize you're probably going through it with all the stuff that's happening lately, with all the hate groups and that. But the Greek gods have the same exact problem. They have hateful extremists, and Dionysus isn't being a shit to me over it. In fact, he's like, can we just spend some time together and have fun and not talk about life? And I'm like, sounds good to me, man. So he was actually being very kind. Dionysus was being very kind. And I can tell he doesn't like how Odin treats me. And Odin won't go after Dionysus. Odin will come after me, and he won't hurt me or anything, but he'll be snarling and growling and that. And I was like, you know what? Snarl, growl, bite me. I will fucking haunt you for eternity. Go ahead, hurt me. And he just kind of looked at me. He's like, I just want you to listen. I'm like, that death god voice doesn't work on me. No. I'm starting to think all the Norse gods are is bluster and nothing else, because Odin's been making these whacked out Odin promises he makes, and he promises you stuff that common sense will tell you not even the most powerful god is going to get to you, but he promises it to you, where Dionysus might not make grand problems, but at least you know he'll feed you, and Hermes will get clothes on your back somehow, even if he has to steal them. And Apollo will watch over you, but I'm like, there's just something wrong. I'm not meant, I think, for the Norse gods, because the more I read on them and the more I, try to adapt, I'm like, I'm not meant for you. The only thing that's kept us going this far is I had a blended household, and I could have that Greek energy and that South American energy and that Celtic energy coming in and that African energy coming in. And all that kept me alive, and all that kept me moving forward. But when it's just Nordic energy, it's like I'm dead in the water. I'm becalmed. So I'm sorry if that disappoints some of you. I had to get a couple people off the channel at one time because they were like, "Oh, you don't need all those other gods. You just have to be from your ancestors." My ancestors, blah 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 blah, don't like me. I can't fucking get them. I have Evo who are closer to me as ancestors than, actual ancestors. And I only worked with them once, and I cried my eyes out and could never do it again, but it was suggested as a healing, respectful thing that, non-African descent people do. So it's kind of clear that I don't belong with them. And the more I see people talking about it being in the blood, it's like, no, not for me, not even remotely. And gods against humans, as Dionysus said, is very vastly unfair. It's like an adult against a toddler. The toddler can scream and pitch a fit, but they can't match you for strength, and they can't match you for mental capacity, hopefully. It's like the expression taking candy from a baby. It's not even a contest. It's not even a contest, and he doesn't like what's happening. So I think I'm going to run off with Dionysus, and I've said that before. Then the Norse gods come in, and they're either very kind or they're very forceful, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. No. No. I've been dragging and almost falling down. I haven't been resting. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but it's like the Norse gods are dangling a perfect relationship in front of me if I just keep jumping through hoops. I'll get it. It's like they dangle it, and I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it, and I got my paws already, and I'm gonna grab it, but then they yank it away at the last minute. I'm like, you know what? You're actually a mean-spirited lot of gods. I don't know how you got worship in the first place, but you're a mean-spirited lot of gods. You really are, because all I want is a god to treat me nice and to be gentle, and I get that from Dionysus. I can get that from Hermes or Apollo, but I don't know. I guess the Norse gods want something from me that they're not going to get, and they think I'm going to change. And the leopard does not change their spots. So, I love them, and I will work with them, but I can't let them be the only gods here. Especially if Odin's going to keep being dishonest and using dirty tactics to get an all-Norse household, and then they disappear. If they stayed here consistently, after they pulled that would be one thing, but then they disappear. And it's like, I don't know, they had me so damn tired, I thought Stereo was tomorrow. I got a day yet. So I got a day in there. And then, strangely, remember they had extended my thing to the 31st, my membership. I went to watch a film today. I thought I'd try to entertain Loki, and they canceled my membership. So I don't know what's going on, but I think for a while I have to quit the Norse gods, Loki included, because it's like Loki doesn't care to be here right now. He's been backing up steadily as Odin comes in, and it's just he doesn't even care to be here, because when I try to turn my attention to him and spend the whole day with him, he doesn't want to be here. I don't know. I don't know. I made the Norse gods mad. This might become the Greek channel tomorrow. I have no idea. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.